Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi Matsuribayashi. Still, not fully sure on our pronunciation. It has been, how long? The 20th, it's the 31st today, so that was quite a while back. Clear the throats. So, 50 parts in is, I don't think any of the other arcs are as long as this one. I don't think any of the other ones got to 50 parts. It is the final answer arc, so, and the final arc of the Higurashi series. They had, spin-off ones, but this is the final one. So, of course, they're gonna go out with a bang, have it very lengthy, and they're getting ready for the final showdown. It wasn't a simple fistfight. Even a veteran soldier can die in a gun battle. There's always a chance of death regardless of how well trained you are. In fact, Kasai and Akasaka were the only people who could be dependable. Kasai talked Irie out of carrying a gun because it might be dangerous for him to have one. Someone could get injured by friendly fire. Mion suggested that maybe there should be more people on the team, but both Kasai and Akasaka refused because those who couldn't even handle guns at all might end up as deadweights. Well then, I have to go, huh? We lack firepower. I'll bring my Ingram to support you. But you're okay, Shion. How's your year? One other motivation for Shion going with him, I suppose, is they're going to the basement, and that's where Satoshi's being kept. I know in the video description, when I was writing out a video description for the previous part, which I uploaded yesterday, and as I was writing, it's first team's made up of Rika and her friends, second team made up of the adults, and I originally added and Shion, but I was like, no, she hasn't joined that party yet because I didn't record that far where she ends up being like, I'm joining that team. Oh, it's all better now. I'm back to normal. Sorry to make you worry. Shion, what did I just say? Hey? Of course. I heard it. Mion had tricked her. Mion didn't say anything. Shion still couldn't hear out of her left ear. Shion, it's too dangerous. To be honest with you, you shouldn't even be in the decoy unit. You should just hide somewhere. Sis, listen. I now have a reason why I have to go to the clinic. But if I mention it, Stoker's going to want to come too. But she just can't. There will be an indoor fight. The enemy will fire at us. Do you mean... Mion sensed it. She sensed the reason why Shion had to go to the clinic. That was why she didn't say anything anymore. If she was in Shion's position, she would go even if neither of her ears could live here. It's too dangerous, Shion-san. Please think it over. Satoko, Shion will join the rescue unit. Satoko, the decoy unit is counting on you. Concentrate on your job. Shi-chan. Right, Rena-san. I'm not planning to die. Yeah, I do. Determined kills never die. That's right. Even if they kill me, I won't die. Shion and Rena give each other a high five. Okay then, it's decided. Let's get moving. I always forget how I did Hanyuu's voice. I kind of get him mixed up a bit. It's kind of like the Rena voice, but not at the same time. I thought you said shit then. It's like, she, I'll take the button. Here you are. Good luck, Rika-chama. You too, Shi. You believe strongly in a miracle and now it's going to happen. Therefore, this is a chance that God has given you. I think there were days I didn't believe. I think someone even admonished me for that. It is difficult to keep believing, isn't it? But you believed. You regretted not believing, so you believed. So please cherish this day. Your strong will brought about today, and you will longer have to suffer what you have been suffering up until now. Shouldn't it say you will no longer, and why has it got 3 L's? Hey, you my sister's new friend. I don't know your name, but thank you. Yeah, I think it'll go well. Of course it'll go well. Are sure Summer guarantees it? Ha 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 ha. The mountain dogs had retreated and reorganized their units. They were now ready to attack again. Takano was furious at them for not being able to bring her back to the clinic, even though they had her in their hands. She gave an order to capture her with all the man dog's forces put together. Their vehicles were at the clinic, and they were all standing by for the order to attack. Takano wasn't the only one who was furious. Okonogi was as angry as her. That rookie policeman from 5 years ago had grown, even made Okonogi yield. He couldn't accept that he was defeated, so he was bent on revenge. The reason why the order to attack was held off was because the signal from the transmission device on Irie was momentarily interrupted. They interpreted it to mean that Irie had gone even further down into the basement. The dogs assumed that the club members would go even further underground and try to escape by using some kind of secret passageway. That passageway couldn't be that long. They'd have to come up to the surface eventually. The man dogs, goddamn throat, would have landed to capture them as soon as they surfaced. The villagers were too busy with finishing setup for the festival, so they had no idea what was going on. By this time, the mountain dogs had shut down the telephone network. They were afraid the club members would call the police. The only way into the town was being watched by the blockade unit, so the club members couldn't escape that way. R and her friends had to come up to the surface. They couldn't be thinking of staying underground until things settled down. Their lifeline, Tomitake, was in captivity. They couldn't be stupid enough to think of attacking the clinic to rescue him. Well, they think wrong. More than likely, they would try to escape from the village on foot. They would probably call the police to help them. Patrol unit had several cars driving through the village, their eyes peeled for the signal of the transmitter or those on the run. It was time to wait patiently. The battle had returned to the starting point, and the balance of power was even again. Central report from Skylark 2. All clear. But you can't stay quiet for that long. You have to be patient. They'll turn up. By the way, where's the princess? I believe she's interrogating First Lieutenant Tomitake. She's trying to talk him into joining our side. At this point, that may be the only way to settle matters peacefully. Good thing we captured him alive. The princess gone and no phone calls from Tokyo. I can finally enjoy this cool, air-conditioned breeze. Commander, there's a radio call from Tokyo. It's from Nomura-san. It's for you, not for the Major. Good grief. If the phone's no good, they'll use a radio. Well, I wonder what the Queen in Tokyo wants from me now. Okonogi the mountain dogs here. Over. And we don't get to hear that phone call then, I guess. Tomitake was being held in a small meeting room. He was shoved under a desk. He was restrained so tightly that he couldn't even turn around. Takano was sitting in a chair next to the table, staring at a whiteboard. It outlined the research plan that was to be shut down. But Takano wasn't really reading it, she was just staring. Now of them said a thing, silence filled the meeting room. Well, she's not really interrogating him or anything now, is she? Okay, that's her then. It's almost 11 a.m. What a long day. I was woken up so early, and it's not even noon yet. Tomitake didn't reply. Shiro-san, do you think you can help me? I don't need the mountain dogs. I only want you. The mountain dogs can't comfort me. I finally realized that your insensitivity is the only thing that can. Shiro-san, you knew that, right? That was why you acted that way, right? You thought there was no use in trying to sympathize, and you tried to comfort me. That's what you thought, right? You only pretended to be insensitive, to help me enjoy myself, didn't you? I'm not speaking to you as Major Takano. I'm speaking to you as Mion Takano. You still won't talk to me. Austin may only give his name, rank, and identification number, and bird chirping very loudly. Takano hung her head. Okay, that's gotta be here then. I don't have the key to those handcuffs, sorry. That's fine. I didn't ask you to remove them. Would you like a cup of coffee? No thanks. I don't want you to have to help me go to the bathroom in this position. It was hardly a conversation, but Takano was happy that Tomitake had finally replied. However, that wouldn't solve any of their problems. If you must kill me, I'm alright with that. I made my peace when I was caught. Yeah, I was planning to kill you tonight. I'm glad you're prepared for that. Good, then my resolve won't go to waste. Hey, don't you want to live? If you promise to join me, you won't have to die. My superiors say there's no point in keeping you alive, but I'll work something out. Who are your superiors? I don't know. The person who contacts me calls herself Nomura, but I'm sure that's not her real name. I really don't know. But you must have talked to her before you decided to do this, right? Only talked to her a few times. When I think back, she probably just wanted to use me. But at the time, I thought she was the only person who could understand me. I understand. I knew there was a time when you needed someone to help you. I wish I could have been there for you. Yeah, if you were there, that would have been so nice. Nobody has died yet. But I'm going to kill them. You have your masterminds, but there are other masterminds in Tokyo who oppose them. Most of them want to hush up this issue. They think it's too late to do anything about it, but you're wrong. There's still something you can do. You can make this whole thing disappear. And my grandfather's research on the syndrome will disappear too, won't it? Takano-san, what do you want to happen? Takano closed her eyes for a bit. But do you mind? It's so high-pitched. Closed her eyes for a bit while she came up with an answer. Her grandfather's research had been insulted. She wanted those with higher positions of authority to take it seriously. You know what? Can you imagine if I had multiple birds? Not just the one. You know, originally you did have 2 birds. But the first one died, like, in just mere days of having it. I don't know if it was, like, ill. Like, without the pet shop owner knowing, or whatever. Or maybe it didn't get access to the food and water as much as the other bird. I've like, cause I'm reminded of a video I saw. Must have been one of the nature documentaries narrated by David Attenborough, and it was like, oh, I can't remember what type of bird it is. It's that big ass. It's this big ass giant bird that's kind of, I forget what it's called, shoebill or whatever. Might have been a different one. And like, it had, 2 younglings there, and one of them was like being an absolute arsehole to the other one and stealing all the food and all that. And then the mother one noticed this and was like, you are weak, so I will, only allow the strong to live. Maybe it was something like that. I don't know. It, like, years ago had cockatiels as well, had 2 of them. I think that one of them, the one that died early, did live a few years at least, but that second one, man, lasted freaking years. And because cockatiels are so big, they're intimidating into, like, cats, they go after birds. They would not fuck with that cockatiel. That cockatiel was like, you fuck with me? I'm the one who fucks with you! But yeah, can you imagine if I had, like, loads of birds? Just like, that'd be really noisy. Just the one's already noisy enough. Anyway, her grandfather's research had been insulted. She wanted those with higher positions of authority to take it seriously. Nomura could make that happen. But she knows she's being used, so surely she should have realized by now that Nomura has no intention of keeping to her end of the bargain. When the final operation was enacted, the higher-ups of the country would have to read the article and they would have to believe what's in it. I guess there is that, I guess. They will authorize the execution of the emergency manual. And yes, that would create an irreversible disaster. At the same time, the disaster would prove that her grandfather's article had merit. I just find it weird. I mean, she's so obsessed with her grandfather's research being, realized like that. But at the same time, the way she's doing this would make it so that, you know what? Yeah, people would be like, wow, so that was true. But in actuality, it was all a lie. That research wasn't proven correct because they pretty much, carried out the execution of all the villagers ahead of time rather than actually seeing if it actually, is true or not. Will you be satisfied with that? Sure, I'll be satisfied. That is the purpose of my life. I asked you before. You're going to disappear after this operation, aren't you? Your Takano's purpose will be fulfilled, and she will vanish from the face of the earth. You'll return to being Miyoko Tanashi. That's your real name, isn't it? How long had it been since she heard that name? Takano closed her eyes slightly. That is interesting, isn't it? It's like, you learned that was her name at the start of this arc, but that was so long ago. See what her name is like in kanji compared to, wait, let me check first. Yeah, her name's there and there, so maybe we'll see the difference. Well, I know what her, the name she goes by is kanji character-wise, so I'll be able to swap that. Or would I? now I'm completely lost. That was right there. 3 and 4. Is it that? Or is it that? I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that's her name, because my god, that's too many kanji characters. So maybe that is her name. If it is, very different. Got 3 and 4, and whatever the hell those 2 kanji characters mean. Can you imagine you, switch it to Japanese, okay, switch it back, and all of these are in Japanese, you'd be like, oh, where's the configuration? Well, you'd be able to tell from that, but, yeah. Look, it had been since she heard her name, Diana slowly closed her eyes slightly. Yeah, that's right. Soon enough, I will return to being Miyoko Tanashi. Okay, maybe that one will make it easier to spot. God damn it. How the hell did I do that? Wait, what? Tell me that was her name? Bloody hell, it's like Miyoko Tanashi. Okay, there's at least one, would it be a syllable in that is linked to another for the kanji character, but it seems like most of them, like me, and all that, each have their own individual kanji character, so that's really confusing. I think this is I'm not sure, I think this is kind of a common kanji character for names. I can't remember if it had something to do with rice fields or something like that. I mean, you kind of can see it in the shape. I remember reading something about that. That's kind of common with Japanese names. I think maybe the last names, I'm not too sure on that. I think this one might mean little. I don't know. Let me check my dictionary. I think I've seen that kanji character meaning little before. I mean, I know, just get on with the plot, but I've got Hanyuu. No, it isn't. Maybe it is related, though, but no. Thinking of a different kind of character. Maybe it is, though. Or maybe it's small. I've definitely seen that kanji character represent something like that. I guess not. But I've definitely seen it somewhere. Tanahashi Miyoko lost her parents and was sent to an orphanage as a little girl. She died after being tortured. That's what you said, right? Well, let me see. Right now, how the hell does this do that sometimes? There's the kanji character for death. That kind of like looks like a detonation thing, doesn't it? Like, yeah, that's the one right there. I got it mixed up. That's the kanji character for little. That's the kanji character for, I guess, female more or less, really. Maybe there's other meanings as well. That's a long name, isn't it? Kanji character-wise. Like, you get some names that's like, you know, just two kanji characters, like Takano just has two kanji characters. Miyoko Tanahashi has 5. I can't remember what that character... I've seen this character used for something, I just can't remember what it was. I've seen this character a few times. Actually, now I think about it, I remember, like, a Super Nintendo visual novel, of all things, and it was untranslated, and I tried going through parts of it, and it's like... I tried to translate it bits. It's like, okay, what is this character that I keep seeing, you know, show up? It's like, what does it mean? And like the way it was used, it was basically, you know, bokuwa, you know, and it's like like in the kind of male context, like how like guys, I guess, would use it. You know, you go with like watashi, and then you got boku and all that, you know. And that character would always be used in that, so I've seen it there. I might have seen this kanji character before, but I'm not sure what its meaning is. And even with that, I don't know what that could mean in the context of this name. I'm not sure about this one, though. That one honestly has a similar look to kind of like hiragana, like all this stuff here. It wouldn't look out of place. Kanji characters, man, I still do not understand them. Yes, I did. I'll have to go back inside of that metal fence. Have you experienced something like that, Jiro-san? Takano told Tomitake about her horrible experiences, which were simply unimaginable for normal people. I'm going to return to that place, and this time grandfather won't come help me. So I will die. If I was dead, I wouldn't exist here. If I wasn't here, then there wouldn't be an Irie Institute. I wouldn't be stuck living out such a bizarre fate. You're planning to die, aren't you? I'm supposed to be rewarded after this operation, but I don't believe that. I might be suddenly killed one day. Okay, so she's been well aware that they don't plan on keeping her alive after the operation is done. Don't you have someone who you can trust? My clients are just clients. They're not my allies. But the mountain dogs are. I paid them more than enough. But you can't really trust them, can you? They are my allies. They court you, and they're trying to catch R and her friends as we speak. They're helping me. But that's not the kind of ally you need right now. You're right. They aren't the kind of ally I need right now. Takano paused. She paused because Tomitake had just said exactly what she had been thinking. Since the day Tomitake disappeared, she had been feeling restless. Takano had to admit that she needed Tomitake. Remember, in the previous arc, Well, we first find out that Takano is the main antagonist here. Although I guess you could see this Nomura person as the main antagonist because she's the one pulling the strings. But when she confronted Tomitake, you know, it was a little less, you know, like how it's going here, where it's like, you know, a bit more sympathetic, you know, from Tomitake's perspective to an extent. Because, like, in the previous arc, like, when she was like, join me, and he was like, never! He's just like, you can't do this! Takano had to admit she needed Tomitake. Jiro-san, I paid the Mountain Dogs a few 100 million yen to be on my side. I have a little more than 100 million yen left. How much do I need to pay you? You should think about how much it really costs to get what you truly want. That's rather a pretentious thing to say in this situation. You want me to say it's something I can't buy with money, right? Why don't you give up? You may be able to tame the Mountain Dogs with your money, but that won't work with me. But I want you on my side. If you want, I'll give you everything. Not just money. You can do whatever you want to do with me. If you want, to lick your shoes, I will. Isn't that enough? Why the hell would he want that? Tomitake didn't reply. He's like, you thought I had a fetish like that? Or maybe he does. It wasn't affirmation by silence, but a signal to Takano that he had already told her everything he meant to say. The most saddening form of silence for her. I'll make you breakfast every morning. I'll show up before you and we meet. I'll never make you wait just to test you. Isn't that enough, Jiro-san? Tomitake didn't say a word. He couldn't see her face under the desk, but he could sense it. This wasn't the time to say anything to her. Making sound was the only thing he could do. But then with high heels she stamps on his face. It's like, ow! Suddenly the phone rang. Takano sniffled once and picked it up. This is Takano. I see. Understood. I'll be right there. Takano stood up as she put down the phone. The Mountain Dogs found R. We found Irie's signal too. We must already know the roads are closed and are trying to escape through the mountains on foot. It won't be easy to hunt them down, but we're actually at an advantage since there's nobody else around. See you, Jiro-san. I think this will be our final conversation. I wish I could have heard you say something at the end of it all. And still Tomitake stayed silent. Takano ran out of the room. She didn't look like she was hurrying back to work. Weird screen to end on. It appears that they came out above ground in the mountains. I might have tried to get some help from the villagers, but I thought it motor vehicle power R and some of her friends and started tailing them. For a time, all on the transmitter were operating separately, but they rejoined at the mountains on the map. I don't know why I just did that. It was like, put on a silly voice. No, let's keep changing silly voices throughout the sentence. That was absolutely stupid, and I do apologize. That was absolutely dumb. What was that? She didn't look like she was hurrying back to work. Okay, so I did read that right. Are you saying they split up, then met back up? They must have planned their escape route, I guess. I'm sure they're confident that they know their way around the mountains well enough. If there are too many trees or if the bushes are too high, our weapons won't work as well as they should. That's what the karate guy would think at least. Okonogi was determined to catch them this time. He kept saying how he was simply caught off guard before. They can't escape this time. We must catch them before they get talking there. Yes, I know. Since they know the mountains better than we do, we'll have to get serious. All our units will besiege and overrun them. All the units, did you hear that? He was momentarily cloned as he transitioned into the middle of the screen. Think of it like a soccer game. Our opponents are gonna try and score a goal. That goal is up there. Don't let them get there. Karate guy's mine, though. I will absolutely bring him down. Well, if you want to bring him down, you better go to the clinic instead. Phoenix here, roger that. Nightingale here, roger that. Skylock here, roger that. Aaron here, roger that. All units move out. If we fail, it's game over. Quite so. We cannot fail. I'll take command of the corps from here. Do you think it'll be alright to leave Tomitake behind? Sure. We're leaving 8 armed security guards behind. Even if the enemy came at them with double that number, they'll be fine. That karate guy will be more of a problem. Simply can't underestimate him. Which they kind of are, because they don't realize he's going to be part of the team going there. Security unit guarded the basement of the Irie Institute, which was the heart of the organization. Therefore, they were armed more heavily than anyone else in the Mountain Dogs. Okonogi's confidence in the security unit and his newfound obsession with defeating Akasaka made the diversionary plan a success. But at the same time, that meant the decoy club members would have to deal with the full force of the Mountain Dogs. Yes, so they know the mountains well, they got the traps and all that, but they're going to be dealing with the stronger forces. Although the other team will have to deal with the more, heavily armed ones, but it's a lot smaller group.